It's a poison. That doesn't help the stress level. No, don't do it. Get a grip. This stupid video I just showed you. I almost stroked out and died over it. You're watching a different show. You donkey. You ain't a captain of nothing but a sinking ship. Don't do this to me, Harry. The Ohio State. It's Ohio State. What do you mean, the? 312-988-15.
Hello?
You tell Johnny all you've heard and seen. Sometimes it's good to just yell about football. Yeah, that's right. I'm telling you guys, there's nothing like being a Notre Dame fan. There's nothing like being a Notre Dame fan. It is unbelievable, some of the ups and the downs and the grinding it out and the stress. I don't even know what to say. I'm exhausted. I have been sweating and I'm exhausted. This was what it didn't have to be. This was what it didn't have to be. Do you guys remember all leading up to the pregame? Look at this. I love you guys loading up on the link. Get on in there. Get backstage. I think I could have 10 or 15 people on hold backstage, and then we'll get to you guys. We're going to do super chats. I'm going to do my little talk. Listen, this is really interesting. I want to see what your Notre Dame fan narrative is going to be. Is your fan narrative going to be, hey, you played an unbelievably not tidy ball game coming out of a bye against a rival, and it was ugly as could be, and you made at some point in this game, you made every mistake you could make to lose to a team like this. So are you going to say, like, you were sleepwalking in here? What did you do on the bye? You can't make an extra point. Everything sucks or whatever. But at least we weren't Vanderbilt. You could argue the Miami loss hurts Notre Dame. Now, I got news for you. That team's going to crumble in November, and this is the start. They're going to have a third loss soon. And then you don't worry about the tiebreaker. So you lose the good loss to Miami thing, but I'm telling you, Miami fades in November. This was the first one. They're going to get a third loss, and then they're below you anyways. They're going to be below you anyway. Miami's going to fall apart in November. Makes it all the more upsetting you didn't beat them when you had a chance, right? So are you going to say, this was ugly? I want to flush it down the toilet. Forget about it. Take the win and move on. Be glad we're not Vanderbilt. Be glad we're not Miami. If anybody else loses later on that's ranked or whatever, be glad we're not them. Or are you going to say this was totally unacceptable? And, if you make the playoff, if this is what you're doing, like where are we going with this? So I want to know what your angle is. It is, I'm going to throw this out there. I think you have a problem with an extra week. You had an extra week between Miami and A&M, and you came out and got worse. Now you're in a playoff chase where if you lose one more game, you are done. You had a half a month to go to your rival's place, who has a history of ruining your seasons when you're in line to do something. And you weren't ready for the moment. Quite frankly, you weren't ready for the moment. So I want to know what the reality is. Should we be frustrated, flush this down the crap, or be glad you won, see where you're at in the rankings, and just keep winning and hope you get better? Some of you in the chat are like, why even make the playoff if this is how you're going to play or whatever? I'm telling you, listen, some of you are going to get mad at this, and I'm not making excuses. Notre Dame wouldn't play this bad in the playoffs. It's a whole different animal. I believe they'd be more put together and whatever. I just don't think you would get this kind of experience, this kind of play level in the playoff. I think you would be, it's a different dynamic, and I think they would zone it in a little more. But it was a really painful, rough watch. But at least you won. Like, at least what is the best thing I could say about all this? You didn't lose. The best thing I could say about this is we didn't lose. And so I already see people saying the Miami thing hurts us. If USC loses Nebraska, we're screwed. You know, all this stuff. All you could do is just win these 5 games and see what happens. Win these 5 games, see what happens. But you literally made every single mistake you could not make against a team like this in this situation, and you almost got beat because of it. You almost got beat because of it. So I don't know. There were parts of this game where it felt like a 1-7 BC team with nothing to play for was owning you on the line of scrimmage. There were parts of this game where that was happening. That's unacceptable. You're coming out of a bye. I don't care if you're on your 9th offensive lineman or whatever. I don't care. Like, some of this is, and the announcing too. Did you guys know that if Notre Dame loses again, they're going to be out of the playoff? I really need to hear that another 8 times. This is really interesting. So your hat's still in the ring. You got the win. If you just look at it on paper, it's a double-digit win there. So there's going to be chaos ahead of you, so you're still in the mix. But the reality is, if you play anything like this, like, you're not doing anything. And here's the other thing. If you play anything like this haphazardly against Navy, even though they lost this week, you're going to lose. You're going to lose. If you dick around the way you did a lot of this game against Navy, you're going to lose. You're not going to have enough possessions to be able to make it up if you mess around. So, like, I'm open-minded to where you guys take it. You know, before our game started, I had the notes of it. Whatever happens, Vanderbilt lost, Miami lost, and I'm confident Miami's going to lose again. You'll go above them. You lose the strength of loss bump, which is already pathetic enough to hang your hat on a strength of loss. You'll lose that, but you'll move ahead of them. I'm telling you, they'll fall apart in November. This was the first domino. But why are you this unprepared to play after an off week? That is an overarching question I have. Why did you come out like this after an off week with all this time to prepare and your playoff hopes on the line? There's something going on in these off weeks. And I don't know if it's we're really banged up, so everybody needs to rest and we're not doing a lot. I don't know. But the one early in the year, you knew you had trouble defensively. You played way worse after the bye week against A&M. And in this one, it's like, gear up for the final run, tighten everything up and, put it all together. What did we say? I spent all week saying, the one thing you can't do with a 1-7 team at their place that is a rival is give them hope. We talked about it all week. The one thing you couldn't do is allow these guys to hang around because you're begging for something stupid to happen. And you almost let it. So you guys tell me, do you just flush this one down the toilet along with BC's colors and just flush it? You got the win. Now worry about Navy and hope other teams lose, or what? I'm not going as far as some of you where you're saying, why even make the playoff if this is what you're going to be? I'm not even interested. Like, it's a pointless exercise. I'm not that far. This team will play better, but this was unacceptable coming out of the off week. It was unacceptable coming out of the penalty. Some of the penalties you thought you got off the field, just back-breaking penalties. The face mask was as Notre Dame BC as it gets. When everything's going wrong for Notre Dame against BC, that's the kind of crap that happens, that kind of call. Like, the kicking thing, Goolsby was on Patreon just saying you're not a serious program if that's what you're doing. It does reflect like clown college. It does. It does. When you do that kicking thing where you can't even make extra points, forget field goals. You're asking to not be taken seriously. You're asking to not be taken seriously. So I'm willing to meet you guys where you're at. Like, really, a lot of problems, a lot of things I'm worried about. You did everything you couldn't do it, and you got away with it, and you won. But this was not what you want coming out of an off week with your playoff life on the line. Time of possession. What did they say? How heavily skewed the time of possession was in their favor? Like, you messed around and you almost found out. But, man, you got to do something different in these off weeks because you are not prepared to play when you come back out. So I think you're probably taking it too easy on the guys. This modern age of college football, people are bruised up. That's the only thing I could think of is that you're taking it easy, and you can't. Obviously, they can't handle that. No playoffs. Why bother? I'm not there yet. I understand the frustration and I share them, but I am not in the camp of why even bother. You want to throw your hat in the ring and then catch a heater and get that quarterback experience. You want to get in that playoff with Love and Price and see what could happen. Like, you always want to make it. So, I don't know, man, but this was super stressful. Like, it was a brutal watch. That was so uncomfortable and stressful. So, I don't know. Notre Dame won. Elite teams don't play like that, Jen. You're certainly right. But does that mean you don't even want to make the playoff and see what you could do? Like, elite teams don't play like that. That doesn't look like a playoff team. Yeah, you're right. But is the alternative playing LSU in the Cheez-Its Bowl because you're embarrassed you might not play good in round one? Like, you still got to throw your hat in the ring. The team could play a lot better than this. We've seen them play a lot better than this. But this today was an unacceptable effort. And as shaky as some of the defensive stuff looked, you ended up giving up 10 points and getting turnovers and whatever else. As bumpy as that looked. But I got beef with some of this, man. 1-7, BC kind of owning the line of scrimmage a lot of the night, owning time of possession. You're making all these dumb mistakes. You can't kick. The offense comes and goes. I will say this. And Goolsby mentioned it on the chat feature on Patreon, link in the description. Oh, that was wild, by the way. He was saying, at least when it came down to it, the captains did their thing. Like Schuler, and he got the interception, and then Love's not labeled a captain, but he's a captain for all intents and purposes, and he takes it to the house. So that's the other thing. The committee's watching tonight, and they're like, this is the ND we've been hearing about. Yeah, but you're also got to say that's the Vanderbilt that's been the most pumped up team lately. Like, they're also going to say that's the Vanderbilt team we thought or whatever, and they lost. I'm just saying that, like, you still want to have your hat in the ring here. You still want to have your hat in the ring. But this was really bad. So I don't know. And the parlay here is, if you do it again next week, you're probably going to lose to Navy. I'm telling you, you cannot be this sloppy against Navy when they minimize your possessions. You're going to be in a bad way. So that's already where my mind is going. Yeah, the Phantom face mask. It's so Notre Dame BC on brand. It's so on brand. Just when it goes bad for Notre Dame against BC, that's all the kind of stuff that happens. That's all the kind of stuff. John, if you're one of the committee, do you vote for ND over other 2-loss teams? Well, you got to consider it. They got over a 10 double-digit win on the road. And they were already ranked ahead of 2-loss teams going into this. So I don't know, man. It's better than losing. Like, I'm not going to argue with you guys that a win is better than a loss. But you could say it was a bad effort. You don't like it. ND's not a serious program. Like, I understand it, but you would be a lot more mad if we lost. I'm upset too. They did look slow. I don't know. How, like, the buy thing is just, you got to figure it out. No way Vandy deserves to be in over ND. Absolutely. Whatever. All you can do is win your remaining 5 games. But this was a missed opportunity, man. 30-point favorite. You just played terrible, and I want to know why. I want to know why. Why did you play so bad coming out of the break with your whole life hanging in the balance? So I don't know, you guys. I'm trying to be balanced here with both sides of this. It's an unacceptable performance with a million mistakes that you almost gave the game away. And at least you didn't lose. At least you didn't lose a rivalry game on the road. I don't know. But there were some disturbing occurrences here. But I would much rather everybody be frustrated and mad in a win than frustrated and mad in a loss that ends your season. I'm just telling you, like, I want to be, I'm mad too. So let me know what you guys think. So as always, thanks for being here. You can find the program. John, you predicted this to a T. I know. I said the one thing it all was in my mind. We were on the bye week. Kelly went down, and I spent a whole week running my mouth about Kelly's failure, trolling all the LSU people. It made total sense to me right when we do that. You sleepwalk against BC, and it all comes and gets shoved right back in your face. It was all there. I made a big deal all last week about the most important thing you could do in this game is to get ahead early on these guys and not leave them hope. I talked about it over and over again. It's exactly, you did the opposite. You did the exact opposite. So at least you won. People want Texas in over Notre Dame. Couldn't you argue? Didn't they lose to Florida? And I could argue that's a bad loss. I don't know, you guys. I'm not going to argue for Notre Dame. It's not a polished game. Whatever. They're going to end up where they're going to end up. We'll see if it ends up where just winning 5 games by any amount's good enough. But you did get a double-digit win on the road. It didn't feel like it. I'm just telling you, objectively, you got a double-digit win on the road. So I don't know, man. But this is, you got things to clean up. You're not as good as you thought you were. And I do not know what you did off that bye week. All right, I got to shut up, do the super chats. There's a bunch of you guys backstage. I got room for a couple more. If you're on hold, you're going to be on the air. Keep your audio enabled, and we'll go to you, okay? As always, thanks for being here. If you haven't yet, do it, subscribe. Appreciate it. Give the video a thumbs up. That helps, John. Notifications on Freeman's to blame. Yeah. He's the head coach. When you have half a month to prepare to go on the road and face a rival with your playoff hopes on the line, you can't play like this. Absolutely. Yeah, that's on Freeman. Sometimes people think I'm never going to criticize Freeman at all because I wanted him to get the job after Kelly left. Unacceptable performance, and you got away with it. I don't know what else to say. What the hell did you do for half a month? So whatever. The game was annoying, and the chats are depressing. They would be a lot more depressing if you just lost. I am genuinely trying to play both sides of this. Notre Dame's dreams are still alive, but you played like a noose today. A noose is what you played like. So, I don't know. Whatever, man. But I'm not going to sit here and act like Notre Dame blew their playoff chances by a double-digit win on the road against a rival. I don't care if they're 1 or 7 or not. And it felt like a loss? Absolutely. I am absolutely drained in a way I wasn't figuring I'd be after this. I'm absolutely exhausted and drained from just the anxiety. I have a pounding migraine just from watching the game, okay? So, yeah, it sucked. So I don't know what to tell you. It's better than losing. But it's not good enough. So you do it next week and you're going to lose to Navy. I don't care who they lost to today and what they looked like and how bad their resume is. BC had a bad resume too at 1-7. And they played you tough and on the line of scrimmage half the night. Probably more, actually. If you mess around like this next week, you're in trouble against Navy. You got to be sharp. You're not going to have as many possessions. You mess around, you're going to lose that damn game. Anyways, hit subscribe. Give the video a thumbs up. It really does help you guys. Take a second, give it a thumbs up. Notifications on. Share it with your friends. Share it with your friends. Email's always irishandy@gmail.com. Audio only, anywhere you want it, you can get it. If you do not want to see my silly face, no one blames you for that at all. Go to the audio only, anywhere you get it. ND on SI, read all about it. Patreon.com/always Irish. I got to tell you, the film breakdowns on this is going to be fascinating. The Sunday night show with Goolsby and I is going to be fascinating. And Monday Night Raw is going to be fascinating because there's a lot of meat on the bone here and a lot of different ways you could cut it and slice it. So I don't know. The chat is pretty damn negative on Notre Dame right now. And I totally understand it. I'm just saying you saved your chance at the playoff. You could say that you didn't win by enough to help it, but it's not dead. And that's where we're at. That's where we're at. If you wanted to avoid this problem, you needed to go at least 1-1 in the first 2 games, and you couldn't do it. So now you're in a pretty contest, and you need to be a loser and sit there with your phone and have 8 different teams lose. So you move up. You're doing the whole loser thing. If you do it right, you're at this part of the season where you only control yourself. Pathetic. Freeman trying to fake punts against BC. It was just a bad. They were sleeping. What the hell did you do over the bye week? I do not understand. All this crap all week. I said, you got to come out there crisp and eliminate hope early against your rival. And if you keep a 1-7 team alive that hates you, they're going to play you tough. Every single thing I said not to do, they did. Go to the soccer field and get new kickers. These guys are relieved of their duties. Oh, they have an NIL deal. You can keep the money, but you're a liability. See ya. I can't handle it. It's small-time football. You're gone. I can't do it, you guys. It's not like I'm saying they missed 50-yard field goals. We can't make extra points. You still have trouble on short yardage. You're doing dumb stuff. You're doing dumb stuff. So let me shut up, read the chat, super chats, and then I'll give it to you guys. The link is in the description. Click it, allow your audio, okay? You're going to have the option, allow your audio. And if you're on mute and I bring you up,
I can't understand you.
There's no way I can understand you. So you're going to have to unmute yourself. If you want to do that. And I don't know what you guys are going to say, but watch the profanity.
Watch your profanity.
Watch your profanity.
Watch your profanity.
Oh, man. How about this? A competent kicker that can make extra points?
What the hell is even that?
What the hell is even that? Oh, I love the sounds. Anything immature. John, I'm surprised you're still wearing the chain. I debated it. I debated whether you deserve the chain or not. You're still in the playoff hunt and you won the game playing terrible and sleepwalking. I'll give you the chain. You're in the playoff hunt. I'll give you the chain, but I was on the edge of saying you didn't earn it. You didn't earn it, but they're still in the hunt. Okay, super chats. Then we're going to go to you guys backstage. $10 holler Adam Dowling. What a terrible performance all around. Coaches, players, everybody had an embarrassing performance. Nobody has a right to complain about our ranking. We deserve wherever they have us. Fair enough. It's fair enough, Adam. That's I can't really debate that. $50 holler from my man Donnie White. Donnie's the man. $20 holler from Josh. What a dumb game. That is very well put. Very eloquent, Josh. That's why I love you. $5 holler Ryan Elliott. Time to pull a girl from the fencing team to kick. I go to the rugby field, go to the soccer place. I go to a high school. They're drunk college kids that kick have a higher percentage of making it on game day in the morning after pounding 12 beers for breakfast than Notre Dame's kickers. I don't understand it. You have one job. One, you're not out there getting the hell beat out of yourself all day or whatever. You have one dumb job. And if you can't do it, you can't be around. $50 by Sully for John's cardiac fund. What a stinker of a game. The defense holding up. Offensively, we looked like crap. And the kicking game will cost us. It's fair. $5 CJ Edler. Need to go for it on every 4th down and 2-point attempt. That's always one of those things where you're like, just go for it every time because we suck at kicking or whatever. I'm sorry, man. If I can't even rely on you to make an extra point, like, I don't know where that leaves you, man. Like Mike said on Patreon, you're just not a serious program if you're doing that. $10 Nicky Dean loves to be heard and seen. Not a pretty win, but still a win, and that's what counts. And not if you ask the people in the chat. They're saying it wasn't good enough. It wasn't by enough. The committee's going to penalize you. $10 holler by the ND gal. Aim your empties. Don't care. We're not getting voted. We are not getting voted into the playoffs. Miami pathetic loss. ND pathetic effort. 4 SEC, 4 Big Ten, BYU, G-Tech, G5, not ND. She's got it all laid out, folks. Even at 5-0, we are screwed. Man, tough around these streets tonight. $2 for the mangoes. I love you guys. Onward ND. Go Fighting Irish. There's some positivity because it's not a Notre Dame fan. $20 from Tom Chris. We won. That's the good. The rest was the bad. Embarrassing at times on both sides of the ball. No way we're a playoff contender right now. The refs are still trash. The kickers stink. On to next week. $5 Willie B. Artigan. Not if you're watching this on replay. Forget about it. Not a chance. Not a chance. Willie B. Artigan. Playoff hopes are gone. We won the football game, but BC won the war. You guys are a tough crowd tonight. I like it. Ed Page, $10 holler. That is an interesting picture. Put Angeli in. I want to see that Angel guy. I think it's funny that people still say that even though he's not here. I want to see that Angela guy. Put him in. The Italian. $20 holler from Pilney. The team is not going anywhere in the playoffs with their kicking clown show. $5 holler. Mom, the meatloaf. Oh, $10 holler crying belly. This coincidentally coincides with talk about Freeman to LSU. Maybe the coach was distracted this last week. Yeah, I knew that was going to come up. Again, I just don't think that move makes a lot of sense. I think Freeman to Ohio State at some point makes all the sense in the world. Notre Dame's closer to winning a title than LSU is, even with how they played. Does Freeman want to go deal with all those politics, uproot all those kids from South Bend for an extra $1 million a year? The governor's talking about now wanting to guarantee the money. Like, why have to do that? With the money Trump following Kelly again and doing that all over? I knew this was going to come up. I don't see it until it's Ohio State. $20 hour. This game at a BK feel to it, but they avoided the loss because of Freeman's talent. Squeak by lesser competition looks sloppy, but Jay Love, the Heisman, that'll be a Heisman run tonight. There's a little positivity. Brian, $10 hour. Thank you. It's really nice when people donate. They don't even have anything to say. That's very generous. $20 hour from Jason. Johnny boy, I pulled out the little air I have left on my head watching the game. Completely drained. I need a nap. Offensive execution, play calling atrocious. So can't convert in short yardage. Win out, please. Man. $10 hour. I feel like the USC win was Manti Te'o's girlfriend. Okay. Let's see what you guys think. It's better than losing, but that is really all that. Maybe that's just the takeaway. It's better than losing, but it was still not good. This is another Freeman special. Well, then what is Marshall and Stanford then? If this is the Freeman special, what are those? The Freeman special plus? What is Northern Illinois? I want to know the levels to this, Andrew. If this is a Freeman special, what is Northern Illinois? The governor's gone after his term. I thought a lot of people liked the guy, except maybe now they all don't, because they all want the football to trump everything else. Now they're mad at him. So I don't know how that works. But I'm just asking, yeah, like a Freeman special, man. Like if you want to say Northern and Marshall and Stanford, those are Freeman specials. I hated everything about how this game looked. You escaped on the road against Rival with a double-digit win. I'm telling you, you still got to keep that in mind. Unacceptable performance, but you didn't lose. Unacceptable performance, but you didn't lose. It was not the worst-case outcome. Andrew Gilmore, when the rankings come out, we're 16th. It's Freeman special. This is tough, man. It's tough out here. What's the reality of it, Pat?
It's a double-digit win on the road in a game that no one paid any attention to. I don't get this. The team literally had their worst performance of the year, and they still won by more than 2 touchdowns. Yeah, and if you kick anything, you're winning by 3 touchdowns. Like, what the hell is going on? I'm trying to. I only came in here just to be like, everyone relax. Miami lost. Florida. I mean,
but you knew this was coming from the chat, right? Like,
no,
I knew it was
no.
coming.
This isn't coming from the chat. This is coming from a particular person. This isn't the chat. The chat is negative because the chat is negative because the team didn't look good. So I can totally correlate. Totally correlate where the team doesn't look good. You don't have a kicking team. You can't kick the field goals. I could totally correlate how people feel like this team, even if they make the playoffs, isn't going to go anywhere. But to refer to this as a Freeman special, what does that even mean? I don't get that. You know what a Freeman special is to me? Winning the Orange Bowl, winning the Sugar Bowl, going to the national championship, looking like you're going to get your doors blown off and bringing that game back to within 8 points. That's what a Freeman special is. Taking a team that everyone had dead in the water against Northern Illinois to the national championship game. That's a Freeman special. Okay. This nonsense that I can't even freaking describe what he's trying to talk about. It was a crappy game, guys. It was crappy. They looked bad. They won by 2 touchdowns, and they looked bad doing it. All right? And guess what? Nobody freaking watched this game outside of the people in here. That game was garbage. You had way better football games going on during the same time. Vanderbilt lost during the same time, or earlier in the day. Miami lost. You had another Georgia and Florida were playing at the same time. In Florida, a 3-4 football team took Georgia all the way to the wire. You think anybody was paying attention to this football game? What in the actual F are we talking about? Notre Dame is going to have a double-digit win over a bottom ACC team on their scorecard. And outside of the people who are in this chat who actually watched the game, the 35 people who watched the game, no one else gives a shit.
So,
and to call it a Freeman special, that just tells me that, John, get rid of Big Baby Bill. I don't have that thing up. Did you see what he said?
Yeah.
The fact that you call it that after he blows out, or after he beats USC, after he takes his team back from dead once before and he's on the verge of doing it again right now, that tells me you are not you are not a Notre Dame fan. You are I am going to do whatever I can to spike the football on Marcus Freeman when all he's done is prove that he's the right guy for this job.
Okay, so let me ask this. What is your concern level about how they looked coming out of an off week? Now that's 2 performances coming off of an in-the-season off week where you weren't apparently prepared to play appropriately. Is that Do you just flush it down the toilet, take the win over your rival, forget about it, get ready for Nate? Like,
What are you
or
supposed to do?
or are
What are you
you
su- what-
looking,
literally,
or
what
are
are
you
you
worried
supposed to
that
do?
there's like ongoing regression here that you got to worry about here down the stretch?
What are you supposed to do? If you're like, are you asking me as a fan or are you asking me as Notre Dame? Like, if I'm Marcus Freeman, what are you supposed to do? You're
I'm
supposed
asking,
What-
I'm asking you if you're like, if you just flush this down the crapper and you're like still up on Notre Dame's playoff hopes and you go to Navy and
I
you hope
still
you
think
play
Notre Dame
better,
makes the national
you know?
championship. I do think Notre Dame has a problem with the SEC right now because there's going to be a lot of 2-loss SEC teams. So we need a lot of losses in the
Baker
SEC.
says you're supposed to win by 40.
Who gives a shit what it says? Okay, you're supposed to win by 40, but you didn't. You got another game next week. You got another game a week after that. It is not over. It is. There are 4 football games left in this season. What is this? You have to win by 40. So is Georgia going to come out 10th because they didn't beat Florida by 40? Like what? This
But
is
they
so
only
stupid.
have I guess, but they only have the one loss. So when you have 2 losses, these guys are saying that pins you back into a corner where you got to start winning by a lot. Like that's different than the Georgia with 1 loss scenario, right?
Sure. But you also have 1 loss to the number 2 team. You have a 1-point loss to the number 2 team in the country. All right. Yeah. Miami was a fraud. It is what it is. You lost that game. It was the first game of the year. You had and the narrative sets up for Notre Dame. And I don't like narrative, but it sets up for Notre Dame. You had a freshman quarterback the first game of the year on the road at Miami, and you lost by 3. Does Miami turn out to be a fraud? Sure, they do. But guess what? It's not going to hurt Notre Dame. What helps Notre Dame is that they're winning. They're winning games by double digits, and Texas A&M is the second or third best team in the country. And as long as Texas A&M hangs in there, you have Texas A&M, if they're blowing doors off of LSU opponents, Notre Dame's got something to put up on the resume against them and say, look, we lost to them by 1 point, and we damn well could have beat them if you watch that game, if we make a field goal.
Yeah. So where I'm at on this is I'm very disappointed. I expected a sharper performance.
It was a garbage football game.
You did a lot
of cleaned my house while I watched this game because it sucks so bad. And Notre Dame may be a fraud, Gilmore. I'm not arguing that Notre Dame is, but the idea that like all of a sudden Marcus Freeman, who last year takes this team to a national championship, now it's a Freeman special because this team wasn't ready to play. Dude, go F yourself. What a freaking clown you are. How quickly can you turn on something? Like, I don't understand how people can sit there and think that they're a Notre Dame fan and then just immediately turn on the football team because they had a stinker performance against a garbage ACC team that they still won by double digits.
Listen, here's where I'm at. It didn't instill a lot of confidence. It's not what I was hoping for. You didn't play good at all. It doesn't look like you took advantage of the off week and all of that. But also, you still have some hope. You didn't ruin the year. You still have hope. Now, did you help yourself as much as today should have?
No.
Probably not perceptually.
Andrew, is winning by 15 points double digits? Is that not double digits? Are double digits different? Is 2 touchdowns different in your world? Why are you such a stroke? I don't get it. Yeah, the fake punt was stupid. They still won the game. They won the game easily. How many sacks did they have? How many personal foul penalties, stupid personal foul penalties did they have to keep Boston College in the game? It wasn't that they were playing bad. It's just they made stupid mistakes. This stuff is easy to clean up. I don't get it. It is easy to freaking clean up. He's going to take I love games like this. You win easily, and then you go to the film and you tear the team apart. And you say, you almost cost us your season because of your stupid roughing the passer, because you hit the quarterback high, because you're whatever, because you can't kick it 17 yards through the uprights.
Yeah, my position is it was terrible. It was an awful watch. Yeah. But it wasn't the worst case scenario. So I'm existing somewhere in the middle.
It's not.
I'm
I'm not-
existing somewhere where you can acknowledge both things. It was bad and we don't like it,
Right.
but all of the things
But-
you're open to save are still in play here.
Correct. You haven't lost anything. And I don't know what the committee is going to do. I don't care what the committee is going to do. When the first rankings came out last year, where was Notre Dame at? About 16 or 17, something like that. Right? And they played their way into it. It's all you got to do this year. But I don't care if they come out and they're 25. Yeah, they're probably not going to make it. But I don't think they're going to be 25. I think at worst they're maybe 14.
Pat, I really was interested in this show because I knew there was going to be some people being like, tough day, but just take the win and your hopes alive. And I knew there would be other people saying this team is screwed. This is not what a playoff team looks like, or whatever. I knew you were going to have some of that. This is going to be an interesting next week.
And
I can't wait for this week because there isn't a clear narrative. There is not going to be a clear narrative.
I totally get the frustration of Notre Dame fans. It's valid. They played like garbage. But to come out and make it seem like Marcus Freeman, it's all his fault and he's the guy to blame and this is what he does. What are we talking about here? We have a different resume with Marcus Freeman than we do from 2 years ago. We have different expectations. So every college football team has a stinker and wins. They all do it. This is not just Notre Dame. It happens to everyone. I mean, you know what matters is what you do the next week and what you do the week after and what you do the week after. The next game is what matters. If you have a stinker and win, it's how you respond in the next game. This game does not define Notre Dame.
My thing is like, if it's like everybody's out on this, what would it be like if we lost? Like everybody's
shit. I mean, they would have been out. They would have been out if you lost.
But like, there's different levels to it. But like, some people really, it feels like we lost. Like, I mean, at least you didn't lose. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I'm not saying I literally, Dev man, whatever. I literally just said you guys have a right to be frustrated. I'm not saying you're spoiled. I'm talking about the man's resume. I'm talking about what he's done, what he's shown he can do. It's there. He can take a team to the brink and rally it and bring it back. Yeah, we've seen that. And all he's got to do is win. So if they play like this next, the number one concern I have isn't how the team played today. It's the kicking game. You are not going to win a playoff game if you can't kick a field goal. You can't go for it on fourth down every time. Look, you couldn't get conversions on fourth down against Boston College because they know you had to do it.
Yeah.
You're so limited at that point. When you're going for it on 4th and 4 or whatever, that's so hard to do.
It is. This is tough.
And Chris Ash needs to tweak his adjustments quicker. Defense played better in the second half again, but he needs to tweak quicker. Yeah. It can't. That's what I miss about Golden. Golden would, in the first 2 series, he would change his defense. It up. Ash, it takes a whole half, and that hurts. That hurts. Yeah. That's my only other criticism. Otherwise, Notre Dame won. They won by 2 touchdowns. I gotta go. I'm supposed to be at a Halloween party, and the wife is pissed.
What are you going as?
An asshole.
Well, at least you don't have to change into anything.
Correct.
See you later.
Later. Bye.
Thanks for jumping in. Have fun. See ya. So here's where I'm at on this. And then we're going to fly through everybody on hold. You're going to come on. We'll fly through this. Here, I think I've crystallized my position. This was unacceptable. It was a unacceptable performance, especially coming out of the break. You didn't do a lot to impress with the committee. However, it could have been a lot worse. You could have won by 3 and it looks worse. You could have lost and it looks worse. Considering how bad Notre Dame played, this is about the best possible outcome for how bad you played. Now, if you want to say you needed to beat the spread by 30, then I don't know how to help you with that. I wanted it too. My blood pressure wanted it. My hairline wanted it, and we didn't get it. Here's my thing. There's levels to this. That's my thing. I think that's where I'm at. There are levels to this. The top level outcome of today was you win by 35 points. Leave no doubt it's an impressive win. But then there's other levels in between. Double-digit win, but you play like crap is one of the levels. Winning on the last second and it's all stressful in that way is another level. And then there's losing. There's a lot of levels to this thing. And I'm at the level of very, very frustrated with how we played, long-term concern, but you kept your season alive and you could hope you could improve and play better if you were fortunate enough to back your way into the playoff. I am trying to be fair here. There are levels to this thing. This is not a we lost level. It's not a we lost level, but it is fair to be concerned about why you played this way today. I don't know how else to look at it. You guys, I'm trying to be fair with it. I sincerely am trying to do that. Oh. Adam, what's going on? We're going to try and move through these so everybody could get on that's waiting. What's up, Adam?
Oh my goodness gracious, John. You want to know how this was a tough game to watch? We're fighting amongst each other right now. And we're talking about the state of the game. We're talking about the state of the program. We're talking about just so much. And I am one level, as you're putting it, away from feeling like we did lose, because that's the way I feel.
Adam, does it make sense to you the way I'm thinking of this in my mind with all these different levels of the outcome today and what they mean? Like, does it make sense how I'm thinking of this with like, there's different levels of this, and you definitely didn't reach the best outcome today, but you didn't reach the worst either. And we're living at some level in between. Like, does that all make sense?
Yes, completely. Because look, the teams that we need to lose, or excuse me, the teams that we need to win actually are not winning. Miami completely is hitting the bed right now. They're just hitting the fan, and it's unfortunate because that is one of the horses that we need in our in our journey here in order to help us get in. And unfortunately, like they're starting to drop off. Texas A&M has got to like really push it forward. And I understand. Here's the thing. And I'm sorry, I'm kind of jumping all over the place because my mind has just been exploding over the last 3 hours.
Go ahead.
But here's the deal, man, is that you were talking like, hey, Vanderbilt lost, right? Well, Vanderbilt lost to a 20-ranked Texas team that at one point was number 1 in the country and has been going through its own growing pains. They still have a really stud defense. And Vanderbilt almost came back and won that game. And I feel that if we played either one of those teams today, and it would have been on the road, whether in Vanderbilt or in Texas, we would have lost by double digits because we were not ready. Once again, coming out of the bye, we were not ready.
It really bothers me. Adam,
it really does.
That may be the number one thing is like now there's a track record of like this year out of both buys, you came out and weren't put together. It's not okay. It's not okay.
And this type of game, John, in like week 4 or something like that is one thing. But when you start getting deeper into the season and now every single game and the way you win, I understand what Pat was saying. Hey, it's a double-digit win, okay? It's a double-digit win against some horrendous team or whatever. But we weren't playing Vanderbilt. We weren't playing Texas, right? So we were playing a 1-7 Boston College team. I don't care about the rivalry. 1-7, only victory is against Fordham. And we played to that level. It was god-awful. And I hope nobody was watching this game committee-wise. I hope they just look over and they go, oh, did Notre Dame win? Copy that. Cool.
25-10. If you just look at 25-10, it doesn't feel as bad as what we just lived through.
No. Jeremiah Love had 130-something yards and 2 touchdowns. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But did they notice that 94 of them were on one play? Did they notice that we were going up on 3rd and 1 multiple times with the game still in question and couldn't get any offensive line penetration into the next level in order to open up a gap for these guys? There was too many things that were happening. Our kicking game is atrocious. And then on top of all that, John, you are now putting yourself in a position where the referees are getting to help dictate what happens in this game. And when you have a, whatever it was, 4th and forever, but you go ahead and you stuff them with that, that blitz, and then they call a phantom face mask and give them an automatic first down and a field goal kick. Well, what do you think is going to happen? It was just too, as you love to say, Notre Dame, and I love that term because it's so freaking true. It's so true. Adam, and I'm losing my mind with it.
I don't even have to describe the phrase. Any long-term Notre Dame fan totally gets what I mean. If I say it feels Notre Dame-y to me when we do something, this was it. And I called it all week. I said the Notre Dame-iest thing you could do is we're all dancing on Kelly's grave and we sleepwalk into BC and you ask for a real problem against a 1-7. The trap was there. And Notre Dame's paw was kind of caught in it, and they squeezed it open and escaped barely.
I had 4 hours of zero emotion externally. I didn't yell. I didn't go, what are we doing? Or any of that nature. I just sat there and went, holy smokes. Like this is for real right now. Like this is actually happening. This is, as I like to say, not rad, because it's the opposite of that. It is the opposite. All right. We're not hanging 10
on a recruiting visit.
Yeah, this sucks. And the unfortunate thing is that while I'm watching these other teams, and I don't care, Ole Miss is playing against the South Carolina team. It's 10-7. They're at home, but South Carolina is going up against them. They're 1-5 in the SEC, but they're playing hard against them. There's just a different level of play. We played against Boston College, 1-7. Gentlemen, this is ridiculous. We should not even be dealing with this. The expectations of having 300 yards rushing against this team and winning by 50 is legit. That's what it should have been. That's what it should have been.
All right. So then let's bring this all forward. Has this outcome lessened like your hope for the rest of the year in making a playoff run? Or are you going to cool down on this in a couple days and be like, I know they could play better. I've seen them play better. They can still trend up and maybe make the playoff and make noise? Or has this really got you where you're like, I just don't think this team's that good this year? Like how far does this extend for you?
I most certainly am not going to be cooled down to the point where I'm going, oh, we got this, just win the games and get in. I've been saying over the last week or so about how we need to win and win with a certain way in order to get in. And I understand what Pat was saying about being ranked 14, 15, 16, whatever it was, and then us getting in. But you can't always leave it to chance. You can't do that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Well, you did that after 2 games. It was already up to chance.
Exactly.
After 2 games, and you're putting yourself in a really bad spot.
So for me, they had it at the beginning of the game. It was something like a 40-something% chance that we were going to be in at the beginning of the game. Guess what it was at the end? 24, 25, 26. Why is that? Because Miami lost, because Virginia's beating Cal, these other weird teams, because Louisville does its weird thing, because of the fact that we're not beating Boston College the way that we need to. So we need a lot of these different ingredients to come into this pot in order to cook something that's going to get us into the playoffs. But the fact, here's one other thing that I'm going to put out there, and I'd love to hear Goolsby's take on this as an ex-player. There was a couple shots of the sidelines when we were obviously struggling and not having control of this game and not playing to the level that we all expect, that I know that coaching staff expects. And players, some of them, were kind of smiling, cracking jokes, laughing back and forth. And one of them was the kicker who missed. So what are we doing? Why is everybody feeling like, hey, man, we just need to everybody relax and sit in Zen mode? No, this is football. Get it together. Start understanding your job and your responsibility and go out there and execute. And if you can't do it, next man up, get out. Because people got to start sitting if we have anybody to sit because of all the injuries. But it's to a point where they better get serious. If they want to be taken as an actual contender and somebody that's going to go into the playoffs and do its deal and actually be effective in the playoffs, then you got to start playing with that mindset. And I didn't see any Georgia players sitting there on the sideline laughing while they were down 10-7. I didn't see that. I didn't see any Florida players who just lost their coach and all that other stuff, hooting and hollering on the sideline when they were trying to win at the end. There's a different mindset out there. And I am sick and tired of Notre Dame being labeled, all of us, whether it's the fan base or the players, as this soft northern Notre Dame rich boy, whatever, because the majority of us are not that. We are grinders. We are the blue bloods. We are the blue collar workers out there doing it. And it's just about time that we get in there and own the trenches and do what we can do.
Yeah.
And I just want to see it, man. Last year, that was it. Like, we were watching it. We exceeded our expectations and got to a whole nother level. And it was exciting and it was exhilarating. And I want to feel that once more. I know everybody else does, but the players and the coaches need to get on their tails and they need to figure it out, because come Navy, who just came off a loss, that's another team that we needed to win, who just lost today to, what was it? North Texas, for crying out loud. It's not going to bode well. Pitt took care of Stanford handily on the road. We are going to run into some issues where there will be teams who will take advantage of it, who can take advantage of it because they can. They have the ability to do so. So I really hope so. And and I'm so sorry. The last thing again is just the fact that everything about Marcus Freeman. I am a huge Marcus Freeman fan. So my whole deal, everybody knows if they listen to me and over the year or whatever, talking about him. I love his approach. I love the way he connects with the players and all those different things. But it's just part of coaching. It's part of learning. Just like on any other job, he's got to figure out how to get into these kids' heads and say, this is not acceptable.
Yeah.
That's just not it.
Yeah. It's, man, it is going to be a very, very interesting week in Notre Dame media land to see how everybody processes this and what the takes are. Adam, I want you to go have a beer, man. Sit on the porch in California, have a beer, relax.
You know what? I got to unfortunately go wear a collared shirt right now, which I am most certainly not. I am a jeans and tee kind of guy. And I got to go to some, celebration for a buddy of mine, but whatever. It is what it is. Hey, last one I'll give to you, bud. Here's one. 4 red zone turnovers in the last 3 games. 4 red zone turnovers in the last 3 games. Gentlemen, clean it up. We need W's, and we need W's with emphasis. I love you, Johnny boy. I'll talk to you on Monday.
Have a good one, man. I hope he can have a beer. He needs to relax. I knew this was going to get juicy today, you guys. It was very predictable. Let me catch up on Super Chats. We'll go back to your calls. $5 holler, Brian. Sorry for no comment in the previous. Well, it's your money. You can do whatever you want. I don't care. It's just extra. It's just funny when somebody donates and they don't even really want to prove a point. I'm fine with it. I just want to make sure you get what you need out. I've decided to chat the way ND played. Acceptable, but stupid. $10 holler, West Palm. He's here. WPP. Normally, I would challenge Mr. Cotter to a debate, but he's making a ton of sense this evening and looking handsome while doing so. Wow, we got... things are weird in Notre Dame land when WPP and regular P are on the same page. $10 holler. Cut to the chase. ND could win each game in November by 1 point, still get in the playoffs. No way an ND team that wins 10 in a row is left out. No way. So this is so fascinating. We now have people all across the board. Notre Dame's in at 10-2 no matter what. You need a bunch of help. You blew it tonight because you didn't win by 30. We're all over the board. This is going to be a November to remember. We're going to see how this thing breaks because there's a lot of different narratives. Pick your adventure, bro. Ed Page, $10 holler. There's a hump and he just can't get over it. It hurts and it never changes. They just they can't get past the SEC. Well, they beat the SEC champs last year. I give them credit for that. $5 holler, Sully. If you got hate in your heart, let it out. Dude, everybody's acting like they hate our own team.
If you have hate in your heart, let it out. If you have hate in your heart, let it out.
Oh, man. And then in regards to the playoff.
Don't let the media tell you how to think and feel.
I don't know. I just wanted to play it. It wasn't even particularly relevant. I just wanted to play it. $5 holler. We need a support group. ND Anonymous. Yeah, that's what the Patreon live chat is. You should have seen it in there. It was flying a million miles a minute. That's exactly what the chat features for in the community tab. Chicago's very own. What's going on, Tom?
How much time you got, buddy?
Oh, Tom, you're a long time, and you look classy as could be, by the way, with that hat on. But
cheers, thank you.
Tom, listen, you're a long time Notre Dame guy. You got a lot of BC scar tissue. You've seen a lot of Notre Dame football. You've heard all this. You've seen the debate. What do you think should be the takeaway from Notre Dame fans tonight after this performance? What is it, Tom?
Good question. So first off, the part of the game that we did not see was the beginning of the game, right? I can tell you the first 15 plays of offense were scripted. He threw actually the first 10 plays I know for a fact were scripted because they threw the ball 8 times and ran it twice.
Mm-hmm.
They saw something, and what happened? The first pass he attempted down the field to Malachi Fields, he just missed him. Now Ryan Harris was doing the play-by-play on the radio. Said if CJ has that ball back, that's a touchdown on the first play. That's number one. A few plays later, he had Faison in a crossing route and just missed him. He said if he connects there, he had clear sailing down the sidelines. So there's 2 plays right there. So whatever Denbrock saw, they just have to clean that up. The timing, even on the touchdown pass to Fields, the timing looked a little bit off, right? CJ will get there. I love this kid.
So,
right?
Tom, what about like just coming out of the off week? You expected to look a little more put together. Should that worry you that we had a half a month and you know what's on the line and you look that kind of disjointed? Like, what do you make of that?
Well, I'll tell you what, and I think what the message they should have sent on those first 10 or 12 scripted plays is run the damn ball. Establish that and then go to play action. That's what I would have liked to see. But, they decided to go with it. I'll tell you what, it was open and I can't wait to see the all 22 because we didn't get to see that on the television broadcast. And once Jared and Michael break that down, from what Ryan Harris said, they were there. So that would have changed the game right away. So they don't do it. On the defensive side of the ball, Jared Dawson played like a man possessed. Other than that one little penalty, the offsides penalty, he was a bitch. He kept getting in that. So I like this kid. I like this kid a lot. There's about 5 other kids that played really well in that defensive line starting to gel. I don't understand the substitutions and the different packages Notre Dame is putting in. And it seemed to me somewhere mid-third quarter, I could be wrong, or the start of the fourth quarter, it's like Freeman took over the defense. That's what it looked like to me. Because they were bouncing in and out of zone and went to man defense, and that's where they were throwing right underneath in that soft coverage. All of a sudden, somebody flipped the switch and said, bull rush the quarterback. Let's see what happens. And then the picks start coming.
Tom, do you, for as frustrated as we all are,
you
end up looking at that and go, the Notre Dame defense ended up allowing 10 points, right?
I know.
Like as frustrating as it felt, at the end of the day, that defense ended up putting up 10, allowing 10, and they got some turnovers. So like,
I know it was ugly, right? It wasn't, it didn't cover the spread. Look, perspective, talking about long time. If anybody remembers the 1988 season, the last national championship, Notre Dame had 2 terrible games against Pitt. They were on the road at Pitt and won 30-20. And they won because of a fumble in the end zone that they recovered for a touchdown. And Pitt fumbled the ball twice on the 2-yard line. Thank God for Chris Zorich and Boo Williams. Otherwise, they lose that game. Then 2 weeks later, they're in Baltimore playing Navy. They're prohibitive favorites, 35-point favorites. They only beat the Naval Academy 22-7. And they went on to win a national championship. These are kids still, John.
Yeah.
I know they're getting paid. I know it's the NIL. They're still kids. So that leads me to my central thesis. I think they're because Freeman is a player's coach. He's got to start being a bit of a badass.
I like this. I like this.
I'm sorry. We've seen it too often. He probably gives these kids a little bit too much rope on the bye season. I want them as fucking razors. I want them pissed off. I don't want them lackadaisical. Make them razors. And that kicking squad, as soon as I get off the plane tonight, if I'm the head coach, I'm going right into the stadium with all the kickers, the long snappers, and all the entire team. And I'm going to make them kick fucking field goals until they drop. Are you kidding me?
Watch your profanity.
Grammar school kid to kick extra points. What are you doing? That's coaching, John.
Yeah.
Watch your profanity.
Freeman.
I had to hit him twice.
I'm sorry. It's just, they're not together. So that if you're not paying attention to those little details, that scares the hell out of me. So to Patrick's point and to Adam's point, I mean, if they do get into a playoff where you're going to need a kicker or you're going to need your offensive line to make a push, come on, what are we doing here? Granted, we've got the offensive firepower. That, I think, if they win out, they're sexy enough to still get into the playoff. But, the playoff's a new season. And it just doesn't seem to me that everybody's on the same page. And I put that at the foot of Marcus Freeman. Have your players ready to go, Marcus. I'm sorry. And all this crap. Well, maybe he was talking to his agent about the LSU job. Bullshit. He wasn't talking to the LSU job. His wife doesn't want to go to Baton Rouge. Can you imagine uprooting your kids and taking them to Baton Rouge? Jesus Christ, it'd be like the movie Cool Hand Luke. You'd be in a fucking prison yard down there. God almighty. It's just frightening. All the different narratives. Notre Dame needs to clean things up. They've got the talent to clean things up. That defensive line, I think, could be really good by the end of the year. And then you go from there. But Marcus Freeman, I'm sorry. He's got to get enough of the player coach. Look, Eric Parseghian had Brian Bullock and Joe Yanto. Those were his disciplinarians. Same thing with Devine. He had George Kelly and Brian Bullock and Joe Yanto. Lou Holtz had Luca Brazzi. He had Barry Alvarez. He was the disciplinarian. So was Joe Moore. I'm telling you right now, that is the deficiency. Mike Goolsby and Jared Clark will back me up on that. I'm telling you there's a deficiency there because Chris Ash looks confused. Every time he's walking around, he's looking around. Whoa, what are we doing here? You're the defensive coordinator, for Christ's sakes.
Yeah. Tom, you're one of a kind, man.
Well, I'm sorry. I
hope you hit the mean streets of Chicago tonight with that hat and have yourself some fun, buddy. Anything on the way out?
I think they're going to crush the Navy next week. I really do. I see. I just no more. No more buys. Okay, no more off weeks. Buys are bad for Notre Dame until Marcus Freeman can find some discipline amongst his players and get them on the same page.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Tom, I love you, buddy.
Like I see it.
Thanks for joining. I'll see you tomorrow night, I'm sure, on the Sunday show.
Bye, war bonds. We'll see you later.
I got to tell you guys, I love this show. Milan, you're coming up, and then Leighton after that, and then we'll get to the rest of you guys. Let me get caught up on here. Tom, this is why I created this button.
Watch your profanity.
Watch your profanity.
Watch your profanity.
Oh my God, I love my chat. I love you guys. Tom is a real one, dude. Unbelievable. Oh, look, yeah, J Carr. Again, we had 15 points left off the board. That's the issue. The red zone fumble, the missed field goal, 2 missed extra points, failed 2-point conversion. Should have been a 30-point win. It's frustrating, man. But it isn't the worst thing that could happen today. I just want to throw that in. It sucked. Nobody's happy with it. It's not the worst outcome. Why did I freeze? It's just one of those days. What's going on, man? Welcome to the program.
What's up, John? Can you hear me?
A lot. Yeah, I got you. You got me?
I got you, bro. Oh, dude, man. Rough game.
I knew this,
rough game to watch, especially sober.
I knew it was going to be like this. So what do you make of it? What is the appropriate takeaway from the Notre Dame fans? How should we think about this moving forward?
I mean, right now, I'm not worried about the playoffs. I just want to win the next game. On to the next game. Let's just keep winning. Let the chips fall where they fall.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I catch a lot of grief being from Alabama, born and raised here, and being a Notre Dame fan. So just winning, that makes me happy. Yeah, I won a national championship, but just winning. I just love to win, so I don't have to hear it from the Gumptards.
Yeah, it is. So do you feel like I feel like there's different levels to this, and you didn't get the blowout, impress the committee when you were hoping for out of the bye. But you didn't lose. You're still in the mix. Like, do you just flush it down the toilet, clean the slate, and get ready for Navy because it's such a unique test? Do you just flush it and move on? But they have a lot to clean up. I don't know if you can flush it because some of this stuff's really worrying.
I don't know that you can flush the kicking woes. That's a major problem. I don't know what you do to fix that. I feel like we're gonna have to play like high school teams and just go for two if we can't kick PATs. I mean, PAT cost us, which I know that wasn't on the kicker, that was on the holder, but still, special team is a unit. There's no I in team. That cost us the Texas A&M game. Could cost us a playoff game. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not studying the playoffs. I'm studying, let's go beat Navy and let's just keep winning out. I mean, this team's a good team. Yeah, there's problems, but I don't think that it's not fixable.
Yeah.
This game, I feel like
play better. We've seen them play better games in this. It's not like I know they're capable of more, but it's just like in this moment, you felt like you really wanted to put together a strong performance. You're coming out of the break and you just didn't do it.
Yeah. And it's hard. I coach sports. It's hard to get up for a 1-17.
Yeah.
That's really hard. I feel like the boys probably come in there and thought they were just going to run over them. But for the most part, Chris Ash catching a lot of heck tonight. I don't think he called a bad game plan. I mean, we gave up 10 points, and we gave up 7 points. The referees gave them that 3. Yeah, that was the worst call I've ever seen, and I expect that with the ACC crew. I kind of hate that we're tied in with the ACC. I don't want to be affiliated with any conference, John.
Yeah,
I don't like it because I feel like, especially say we're playing we're not playing them, but say we're playing Virginia and they need to win. Those ACC officials are gonna make sure. I just watched them do it for the SEC, do it for Bama last week against South Carolina. They're gonna make sure they protect their investments.
Yeah, man, this is just it's a unique game. This is going to be a fascinating next week. See how everybody processes this. So do you worry that Notre Dame will drop down in the playoff and be 14 or 15 instead of move up? Or like, what do you think's coming Tuesday when the first chart comes out?
We'll probably drop, but I'm not worried yet because I expect some more chaos. I mean, you still got some big games. You got the Iron Bowl coming up. That's a big one. You got the whole rivalry week. That's a big week. Last time I checked, Ole Miss was up, but Lenore Sellers, he's a heck of a quarterback. They may pull the upset. I'm hoping that's the one I'm watching tonight. Hoping for an upset there.
Yeah. So how is it being a Notre Dame fan down in your area?
Yeah, it's tough. I catch a lot of heck from Alabama fans. My grandfather was a trustee at Alabama, so really caught a lot of heck from him, and my brother was always on me. That's why I kind of low key pull for Auburn too, just to kind of stick it to the Alabama fans.
Yeah,
it's real tough, but I'm meeting fans down here. There's a lot of Notre Dame fans here, and I met a lady not too long ago. Had coffee with her, gave me a bunch of Notre Dame gear because it's really hard for me to get Notre Dame gear. I get it, online, but sometimes it's hard to do that.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. There's a lot to clean up. So, I mean, on the way out, give me where your head's at moving forward. Is it just keep win these 4 and just see where you fall? Is it that simple?
I think, yeah, win these 4. Notre Dame's brand. This is about money, John. Notre Dame brings too much money to leave out. I don't want to sound like that guy, but in reality, we went out, we're in. I 100% believe that.
Yep, that's a popular narrative, and they won't admit that that's a part of it. But if Notre Dame's on a 10-game win streak, they can lean on that and say they won 10 in a row. They're playing like one of the best 12. We're going to see what they could do. Anything on the way out, man? Thanks for joining from Alabama, man.
Yeah, man. Let's just root for Texas A&M to win out. I think that makes us look good. And God forbid Miami to drop another game. I hate to say that because I cannot stand Miami, but let's just hope they take care of the rest of their schedule.
Yeah, well, we'll see what happens, man. Enjoy the rest of the games, and thanks for hopping in. Do it again.
Go Irish, man.
Have a good one. Man, I like getting some new people in here. We're going to go to Leighton. He's been waiting forever. And Adam, I see you as well. And then we'll keep it moving. We'll get through it. And you guys can all say your piece. What's up, Leighton?
Hey, John, can you hear me?
Yep.
I'm a first-time caller. I wanted to call after the national championship. I had my son. I named him Era. That's how much I love Notre Dame.
Oh, I like that. What a classy young gentleman. I already know that.
Fan of 30 years. Okay. Grew up a fan. I feel like the context is important, but I love how some of the callers have already referenced Notre Dame. My dad and I say this all the time. What's more Notre Dame than tonight? Everything, start to finish. The fact that we're like fighting as a fan base. Like, should we be happy? Should we be sad? This is Notre Dame. Welcome to the club right here. This is what it's like, is fighting each other. Why are we fighting each other, right? So
but it's so predictable. I knew damn well when I hit live on this stream, it was going to be one of the more interesting ones of the year because there isn't a clear narrative. There is not a crystal clear narrative here. And I knew there was going to be some splintering on how people would view it. But dude, every Notre Dame fan knows what I mean when I say something is Notre Dame. You don't even have to define it. We all feel it. We've been living it our whole lives if you're my age.
Exactly. So a couple of things. First off, I respect the whole fan base. I love the fan base. But like, Tom, come on. Like, the defense, are we really blaming Chris Ash tonight? Like, come on. We were in Jadarian Price fumbles the ball on the 1 yard line, and we're blaming Chris Ash, right? Like, if this is a different game, if we have 3 more scores, which are out there, okay, and I wrote down a bunch of notes. I'm a first time caller, so I've never called before. But come on, like, special teams. I can't even believe that we're having a conversation. We're missing a field goal on the 3 yard line.
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing? That's Notre Dame, right?
Yeah,
so the whole
What about, dude, the bye week part of this bothers me too. You just wanted to come out crisp and clean and rejuvenated. And instead they came out and looked kind of sluggish. And I think Tom's probably right. The Freeman took it easy on the guys or whatever, because they did not look ready to go to the level you need to be ready to go. 1-7 or not, everybody around Notre Dame should know what happens if you let a BC team hang around against you.
Absolutely. And Freeman comes in, and I don't know how to feel. Okay. The game starts. First off, I can't stand Brock Osweiler. Okay. You're a loser at Texas. I don't want to hear you. I don't want to hear you tonight at all. Okay. And he's got all this yapping. But second off, okay, Freeman, I noticed there was a lack of intensity just on the sideline. I'm bothered by it. Instantly. In the first half, I could tell. It's classic. And we go back to the term Notre Dame. What's more Notre Dame than this? We come out, we're flat. And like I said, I don't want to sit here and blame the defense. Okay. Look, say what you want. I get it. We give up 40 points to A&M, whatever. We have like you said before, John. Okay. We have an interception in the end zone. Game's over if we really wanted to hit it, but we don't. Okay. That's fine. Let's blame Chris Ash. But look, Denbrock, man, I wanted to call at the end of the national championship. I ended up having my son, so I didn't get to call. But this is why I wanted to say, I got problems with Denbrock. Okay. What are we doing in the first possession? We throw 3 times. We got Carr throwing down 40 yard pass. What are we doing here? Okay. What are we doing? Give the ball to Jeremiah Love. The guy's a fucking. Oh, I'm sorry. The guy's a. I'm sorry. I apologize because I know Tom came out and cussed like 3
Watch
times.
your
I
profanity.
apologize. We got Jeremiah Love, a Heisman. He's hitting the Heisman pose in the end zone, and we got Jadarian Price, and we're not running the ball on the first possession of the game.
Yeah, man. And then the short yardage thing has been a problem all year too, and it doesn't look like it's going away. Like there is, and then I don't know, it's a choice. I wondered in that win, is Denver going to try and see if they can run the ball early? Or are they going to try and open it up and build Carr some early confidence? And it's all just a little underwhelming, especially coming off of the off week. I just really wanted it to be more put together, and it wasn't.
Yeah, and look, at the end of the day, we're living in this college football playoff world. It's easy to criticize every little thing because it feels like, look, reality is we're 2 plays away from being, undefeated.
Yeah.
And if we were undefeated, we're not sitting here yelling at each other and having these like disagreements between each other. But, it's where we're at. And we all, at the end of the day, we have to blame ourselves. We did this. We did this to ourselves.
I'm still going to say, though, I would much rather we're all bickering and going back and forth and disagreeing after any sort of win, even an ugly one that we all hate. I'm much more in a better place having all these debates when you still technically you're alive for everything you were trying to play for. And so I'd much rather have this than a loss. I'm still going to say that.
100%. I love the Irish. I will always love the Irish. I will never hate these guys. Okay. Look, I haven't lived in a post like I never got to see a natty. It's a tough world. I had to live my life through Ty Willingham. I had to watch that nasty USC Bush push. It's tough. Yeah. I remember crying at the TV as a little kid. Okay. So I'm used to it. But at the end of the day, look, we beat BC. Let's go through. I knew it was a bad omen for the day when the game before the same network that we're on, okay, the same channel, Miami loses to SMU. I knew it was an omen, right? That's Notre Dame, right? Of course. Carson Beck, this guy can't finish the game, man. Yeah. Of course. And so it is what it is. We got ourselves here. I'm glad to be an Irish fan. I'd rather be a Notre Dame fan. One of my best friends is a Kentucky fan. I'm like, oh man, I don't even know what that's like. That must suck, man. Okay, look, as a Notre Dame fan, we're in it. I don't care. Notre Dame to the end. Go Irish. Thank you, Johnny. I love always Irish. I love the community. Go Irish.
Hey, period. Man, thanks. Really good first call, man. Thanks a lot. Call again.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. That was good for a first time, man. But I like this. We got a blend of some people on video and some people that are on regular. Let's see here. Let's work through these. I want to get you guys in, and I'll start writing my articles. Adam, what's up, buddy? What's up, bro?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Am I good? Can you hear me?
Yep.
Wow. Just kind of haven't called in a long time, but figuring out this little new system you got here. Pretty cool.
Yeah, it is, man. You never know what you're going to get on the video. Adam, we were texting
How do I look?
back.
Do I look good? Do I look good?
Yeah. Oh, you look good, baby. You look like you're living the sweet life at Notre Dame Stadium. Adam, we were texting during the game. We were losing our minds. What is the reality of this? I know you've seen the debate between Pat and Gilmore and everybody. What is the right way to view this? How should you look at it?
It's like all in the middle, man. It's us Notre Dame fans are from everywhere. We're not from the same area. So we all have different views and different opinions. And that's what makes our fan base so unique. It's not anything like anyone else in the country has. I think that's why we argue so much and never agree on anything. But in the same breath, that was probably one of the most frustrating games I've ever watched because you knew you were so much better than them. And it was like, it's almost on everyone. I felt like the coaching was bad. The players had no sense of urgency. It was just so frustrating. It was like, it felt just unacceptable where we are, knowing that we have to win out and do all this. And after 2 weeks ago, how awesome that feeling was in Notre Dame Stadium, the way we played to come out like that. I guess I'm surprised, but maybe I shouldn't be surprised that there was a letdown game. You know what I mean, John?
Yeah. Well, you had the buy-in there. So how are we supposed to think of that? Like you come out rusty and sluggish because of the buy instead of sharp. Like it's just not what we wanted coming off the break.
Yeah, and just everything about it was bad. But then when you look up, we won by 15. We probably should have won by 30.
Yeah.
And we winning by 15 and getting those guys in the locker room and be like, bro, everyone needs to look in the mirror is a lot better than a loss.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that is, that's where I'm at. Like, there's a lot of concerns. You're not going to win a playoff game if you play this way. Like, you got to get a lot better if you think you have any chance at all. Everybody knows that.
The kicking game, too. I know you've talked about it. Oh, my gosh. Like, what are we doing? Like, we're never going to win a playoff game with this kicking game going on. Oh, wow.
Dude. And the other thing is, it's not one guy. They keep trying guys, and they're all doing it.
Yeah. So I guess we were texting the whole game in the chat. Like, I was so mad. My wife, Tiffany, says I have issues, but the way I'm screaming, I'm taking years off my life. But then after the game's over and we still win by 15, we're probably going to be lower when we probably could have been in the top 12 if we would have blown them out. But now we'll probably be like 15 or 16. But there's a lot of other games these other teams have to play.
Okay, so. Adam, let me ask this. Are we being tougher on Notre Dame than like the regular media or the committees being? Because do you get what I'm asking? Like, because it's our team and we expect so much and we know everything, like we're really hard on them. Do you think there's any chance we as a group collective are being harder on them than the committee will be? Because a lot of people think we're going to drop. I don't know. I have no idea what they're going to, how are they going to view that?
2 weeks, nobody will remember this game. They'll just look at it as a 2-touchdown game.
Yeah.
But it would have been great. There's a lot of games like this. If Tay Johnson's touchdown counts at the end, that would look a lot better.
Yeah.
When he intercepted that, if he could have scored. But that's
dude, it's so frustrating. It felt so Notre Dame-y BC, like it was right on brand. And the other thing, Adam, where my mind's going already is you play this disjointed, you'll lose to Navy. I know they lost today, whatever. I'm just telling you, they will eat up 9 minutes of clock, a quarter, and you'll do something stupid, give them the ball back. You'll lose to Navy. So you better clean it up.
Maybe looked at this as a positive. We won by 2 touchdowns, which I know I'm super negative during the game, but we won by 2 touchdowns. And now they can say, don't you ever, ever think you can just roll the ball out and kill somebody ever again. Maybe this will get their attention.
Yeah. Yeah, it was. And then when you got that face mask call, and then you got the other stop on the sideline and gave them the first down, I'm going, this is how it happens. If it's going to go bad for Notre Dame BC, this is always what happens. All this extra stupid stuff.
2 extra points, 120-yard field goal. Like, it was insane the amount of things that went against them, and we still won by 15. So, I guess it's both ways. Can you get mad at Freeman and the staff for not preparing the team and the players for not being disciplined? Yes. Can you, on the other hand, be like, okay, we won by 2 touchdowns. Nobody will even think about this game in 2 weeks if we keep on winning? Yes. So it's all the above, but maybe they can use this as a positive to clean some stuff up in a win.
Yeah. Yeah, man, this is, I don't know. Anything else, Adam? Thanks a lot, buddy.
Dude, John, I'll let you go.
So stressful. I could just picture Tiffany. She's just like, why do we do this to ourselves every week?
She kept on going outside because she said I'm taking years off my life yelling at the TV.
Yeah, but it's just how we're wired. She knows that. It's never going to change. She knows.
Yeah. Hey, man, this is really cool, man, what you got set up, this little video and talking.
Yeah, it's different.
And,
it adds a different flavor.
Yeah, the whole Patreon thing is almost like I didn't even realize there was a chat because I'm at most of the games. I'm like, it's almost like like Notre Dame fans don't even have to go on Twitter or like anything anymore. Yeah. You can just be with our people. It's pretty cool.
Man, I appreciate that. Yeah, it's been a fun experiment. People love that chat. So Adam, try and relax. Have a glass of wine with your wife and just relax the rest of the night, and then we'll gear up for Navy, buddy. Anything else?
No, that's it. Navy, here we go. Our favorite game.
Yeah, exactly. All right, tell Tiffany I said what's up, okay?
All right, tell Jessica happy birthday.
Yeah, will do. Thanks, man. See ya. Oh, I love Adam and Tiffany are the best Notre Dame friends you could have. And so we're going to keep it moving here. I got Rosinski coming up. What else do I got? Vinny as well. You guys are coming up. Let me check my chats. $5 Aller Nikki Dean loves to be heard and seen. John, meet us in the Bend for the Syracuse game. I don't know about that, man. I already made it to 2 games with the USC tailgate. It's going to be later in the year, cold weather. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Maybe there's a way something works out. What's going on, man? Welcome to the show. Thanks for waiting.
John, where do we start?
I'll ask you, what is the takeaway from this? You've been able to kind of watch the game and then see everybody debating. What do you think the reality is? What's the takeaway here, man?
Okay, first off, this is my second time calling in to you. I'm the 50-year-old, 10 years older than you. My reality is expectations. This is a sophomore and junior laden team. And to watch the beginning of the game and see the game plan Denbrock laid out with his game was pass. Coming off that USC victory, everyone thought, hey, we're going to run for another 300 yards, which we should have. That first drive probably should have thrown the run game at them. From what they said in pregame, BC had 25 injuries on defense going into the game. So what you want to do is wear them down on the offensive line and we come out passing. So that was my big thing. But on a few other notes, we won the game. Go look at the stat line, 480 yards to 280 some. When it comes to playoff time, that's what the likes of Saban and the coaches that have been there before are going to be looking at. Hey, what did Notre Dame do when they had to play teams on the road? They haven't played any cupcakes this year. Every week, someone's ready to get up for Notre Dame. That's just the Notre Dame way. Every game, Notre Dame, that's our Super Bowl. Today was BC's Super Bowl, 1-7. Yeah, I thought we were going to steamroll them, but then I knew that Notre Dame fan in me. Let's look at reality. BC is going to be ready for us.
Always.
We're on the road.
Yeah.
And that first quarter, if no one's mentioned this, the whole time, cars in the sun looking into the shade. And if you've ever been, you've been to Notre Dame Stadium, you've seen those games. When you start off with the sun in your eyes and you're throwing to the receivers, you're not getting the best passes off, or your timing's not on with them. Sort of like the USC game where he was throwing on a rainy day. We weren't getting the best of Carr in that game. They wanted to stop the passing game. They did. We beat them with the run. Today, that first quarter was all questionable on the game plan that we called. I guess my next biggest point would be the second half was KVA not being in on that first 12, 13-minute series where BC took the ball down our throat. Osbury was out there the whole time, and I'm like, where the hell is KVA? And the other point I meant to start off with, no one's mentioned Christian Gray didn't start this game. He was out. So here you have another freshman DB on the field. You got to look at everything in perspective, what we're playing with this year. Sophomores and juniors, it's not a senior-ridden team that can go out there and lead. I hear all these callers saying, hey, we should be doing this and that, but we're not, because it's who we are this year. We're starting a brand new redshirt freshman quarterback. Yeah, we have the best running backs. Our receivers, we've got 2 transfer guys that are awesome, but hey, it takes time to get those plays down with those receivers. I mean, I like the way we're playing. Like everyone's saying, just get to 10 wins and let's see what happens.
Yeah, it's man, I just think you could kind of pick a narrative and run with it today. And it's just, I think I'm going to fall right on This was really not what we were looking for. It is better than losing, though. And you were the main goal you wanted to leave Boston with was still being in the playoff chase, and you are. And you could argue you didn't help yourself as much as you could have, but you also didn't burn the whole thing down, and you're playing for nothing the rest of the year. So that's the level I'm at. But it was just an ugly game. No one's going to want to go back and watch this one. You want to flush it and get ready for Navy.
This was our trap game. I mean, every week, the first 2 weeks out of the gate, playing teams. Every week, we're playing someone that's competitive. They're not the best teams, but they're competitive. They're going to be strong, grind, go through the game. I mean, Purdue, no, I was at that game. Purdue wasn't that team, but USC, you come off that big victory. How do you get up after USC? It's an emotional. How do you get these kids up? Okay, you just beat USC. You're going to play BC. That's tough. These are just kids, and people think they're pro athletes. Like they can just flip the switch, show up, and churn in these all-star games, and that just doesn't happen. I mean,
yeah, it was. Man, this was just a frustrating watch, and it just every little thing felt like it just was happening just to annoy Notre Dame fans. Like it was so bizarre. Some of it. It's just. I'm just glad it's over. I'm glad you won, and we need to move on, and you need to get a lot better. Like, that's the problem with, like, just flush it down the toilet and move on. You can't ignore some of these issues. Like I want to flush down the toilet. They need to look at it and get serious because you got to get a lot better.
You're right, but look at the 10 points that the defense gave up. Leonard falls down, another 3 points. They call some phantom face mask.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
man. We didn't get gashed. The times we did give up some big plays, Ash went to his zone defense, and you don't have more out there. Yeah. And the defense is still, I mean, every week they're getting a little bit better. The pass rush is there. Run game, stopping the run is just crucial at this point.
Yeah.
Look at every other team today. Look at every other team.
Goolsby brought this up on the Patreon chat. He goes, those are your leaders. You got 2 plays back to back, and one of them is a Schuler interception when they're going in to score in the red zone. And the next play, Love breaks it and goes all the way. Like, there's a positive. You were in a dangerous spot of the game where you really we could have been having a worse discussion than we're having now. And 2 of your big boy leaders there in back-to-back plays changed a lot of it. And, like, if you want to find positives, that's one to me is those guys stepping up at the time where you needed them.
And we can armchair quarterback this, but you did not see Denbrock's playbook in that game today. You didn't see Washington out there running those special tight end sets for running plays. There's so much offense scheming today that you did not see against BC. You know, I got to believe after all these years of watching Notre Dame football, they hold back plays for certain teams. It's like, hey, we can win with this bare minimum. And I believe that was the case today. It's like, hey, get in, get out, get the victory, no injuries. Yeah, there's a lot to clean up, but these are kids. I mean, like I said, Christian Gray's out today. Your offensive line, the middle of the offensive line is so young, and they still dominated. There's something to be said about what Freeman's done with this team this year with all the youth he's had. And
yeah, and again, man, you put yourself in such a bad spot when you start 0-2, and like the Northern loss last year. You leave yourself no margin at all, and you have all the pressure of the world on you every week for most of the season. And now you've done it in back-to-back years. If they pull this off and get in the playoff again, doing this again, I mean, it's amazing in a frustrating way that you're even in that position because it's just you have no leeway at all, and it's just tough to win that way.
Totally agree, but this isn't Leahy coming from Boston College to Notre Dame to coach. This isn't. Yeah. He's learning here, year 4. I mean, You got Denbrock, and then you lost your defensive coordinator. I mean, if you had Bama or LSU's talent that comes in, year out, then I could see where Notre Dame fans' expectations could be, okay, we're really pissing the bed. But what he's done in 4 years to flip the talent that's coming in, the plays we see every week, I mean, the passing game now is just ridiculous. At any moment, Carr's throwing up a bomb and we're hitting it. The running backs can score at any time. blocking holds up. And I mean, you just think if we had 2 offensive linemen back right now, what that offensive line would be doing to teams.
Yeah.
We'd be road grading every team. Navy next week. I used to be scared of Navy, but after seeing what they did today against Northern Texas, yeah, our defense is just too special on that side of the ball to let them do what they did in the past against Kelly teams. It's
man, this is I don't know. I'm wondering if you play good against Navy and then this is just a game you end up looking over on the schedule, like it's a win, it's an ugly thing and you just move along. Like I'm wondering if you just we end up there, but I get why people aren't there right now. Anything else, man? Thanks for joining. Thanks for waiting.
Well, we want to see Notre Dame. It's like linear. It's like weightlifting. Every week you think you're going to be better than the week before, but you've got a team coming out against you and the guys on our team against those guys on the other team, who knows what these kids are going through? Did they break up with their girlfriend? Did they fail on a test? It's just a lot of emotion. So, I mean, guys really need to check what they think these kids can do at the end of the day and just enjoy the moment. I mean, to see the way we scored today with those points, the stops when we need them, it's exciting. On 4th and 1 when Notre Dame can shut teams down against USC last week or 2 weeks ago, when you think USC is going to get that first down and Notre Dame makes a stop, you just got to relish those moments. It'd be easy if every game was like the Madden video football games where you just draw up the play and you hit the home run every time. But this is the part of being a Notre Dame fan. You ride that roller coaster and enjoy it. And when the good times are good, they're great. When the bad times are horrible, they suck. But that's why that's any football fan is. You go through it.
I don't know. I would much rather complain about a win than a loss. That's all I'm saying. That's not making excuses. That's not saying what happened today is okay. That's not saying it doesn't need to get better. I'm just saying it feels much better to complain and bitch after a win. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I've been there, done that. But I'm looking at these other teams today. Georgia barely beating Florida. Miami losing on the road. I mean, this was Miami's first game out of Florida, and they lose on the road. Notre Dame goes on the road, and it's not the victory we want, but we got it. And, I think at the end of the day, just get to 10 wins. Everything's going to shake itself out. And if this team's meant to be there, they will be. And I believe they will be because there's a lot of losses in the SEC coming and the ACC too. I mean, in the Big Ten, who you got at this point? Ohio State and Indiana? That's it. Neither one of them have played anyone.
Yeah. Oh man. So there's a lot of football to be played around the country. You just got to keep winning and see what happens. Hey, thanks for waiting. Thanks for jumping on. Do it again, man.
All right. Go Irish.
Have a good weekend. Thank you. I love having these new people in here, you guys. This is beautiful. We have a lot of first timers on here. Homer TD, $20 hour. I get it, but a win is a win. Go Irish. I'm a lot more stressed out today than I planned on being, but it isn't the worst thing that could happen. All your goals are still ahead of you. Did you help yourself the most you could? No. But you didn't ruin it all either. Vinny, New Jersey, what's up?
Hey, John, how's it going, bud?
It's going good. We're just trying to find our reality here. What do you make of it?
Yeah, man. I'll be quick tonight. I appreciate what you do. I think this is a good therapy session for all the fans. I'm going to start with some positives. I'm going to go the opposite route. So, like Burnham played. I love the way that kid is playing. Every time he gets in there, I feel like he makes a big play. He's always getting after the quarterback. I thought he's doing, playing a great job. I like Snead when he's rushing the passer. I think that's his role. That's where they need to utilize him more. Boneheaded play on the sideline, and the one I think Tom was criticizing Freeman for, Freeman was laying into him. I mean, I don't know if you saw that angle when they were showing him. He was ripping into Snead for making that bonehead of a play, I should say. But I don't fault Denbrock for the way they started. I mean, they were crowding the box. They even called it out on TV saying that Notre Dame needs to take some shots downfield with the way BC is playing them, and they did that, and they did capitalize on it. But I am concerned with the run game a little bit. I do have issues in terms, like you mentioned, short yardage. I think we need to clean that up. And I'll say this for the coaching staff. Here's a way. I've always subscribed to the notion. I like to attack on both offense and defense. I don't want to play passive, just kind of take what the defense gives you in a certain way. Like I'm going to bring up 2 games from last year, and just from a philosophical standpoint, if the Penn State game, right, the first half it was almost like we were playing not to make a mistake, and then we opened it up the second half, and then you start to see like, wow, Leonard can throw the ball. And the second half of obviously the Ohio State game, we opened up the offense. So my point is, I want to see us keep on attacking. If we lose and we're attacking on both sides, I can deal with that. But what I don't like is passive play or playing because you don't want to make a certain mistake, or I just want to see a little bit more aggressive. So with the current defense right now with Ash, when we're blitzing 6 people, we're bringing 6 right people. We look great. We look like last year, but I think he takes a little bit too much of time to adjust in the game. I'd like to see, I think you guys brought it up before, someone brought it up, like, adjust quicker in the game. He's taking too long, where Golden would make adjustments, from series to series last year, where this guy it almost seems like you're getting to halftime, and, you have a lot of knowledgeable people on that staff. Freeman was a former defense coordinator. So, he should be running that to say, hey, listen, we got to make these adjustments on the fly. We cannot wait this long to get aggressive, if you will. So those are kind of my points. Philosophically, like I said, offense, we need to pick up the run game a little bit more. I get concerned that we can't run the ball when we need to close out games. And those are kind of like the thoughts that I had.
It all makes sense. It all makes perfect sense. Commander, if you want to jump back on hold, feel free, man. But you and everybody else, a lot of these people are waiting even longer than you, man. It isn't just you in here. Not trying to be rude, but all these people have been waiting.
Thanks, John, for the show. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. So I what do you do? Do you flush it, or do you want Freeman to light these guys up and let them know this wasn't good enough? Or do you want to just flush it, move on, and take a rough win against a rival? But I don't think you could flush some of these problems, though. That's the problem. Because when things become a trend, you can't just flush them away as a one-time off day. Short yardage stuff, that's a trend. The kicking thing, that's a trend. You can't flush reoccurring items.
I agree. I mean, listen, he's got to be a little bit I think he's a little bit like when you started last year and you saw the Texas A&M game when he came out last year, right? That energy that he came out with, he was ready to street fight someone, right, in the tunnel. I don't think you've seen that side of him as much this year. And so I like him to take on, the first time I really saw it was honestly today when Snead made that, when Snead got called for the personal foul. He was pissed, and that's the kind of, I think, tenacity that he needs to bring moving forward to set the attitude of the team that, you cannot play this way and expect to just get in the playoffs and do things. If you want, it's got to start from every play, like you said, every play, every possession, you got to really come in with an attitude. And I think sometimes these players take for granted, and you can't take any team for granted. You got to play, like you said, I think it starts from the coaching down.
Yeah, it's man, it's just so damn frustrating. But at the same time, it isn't the worst case. I am gonna keep repeating it. You could have lost this game and you would have a whole different list of problems than the ones we're mad about now. So I'm just thankful they pulled it out. But no, you didn't impress the committee. No, you didn't make me think you're going to make a deep playoff run with this. But you got 4 left that you could look better in and get better from here still. It isn't like it's over today.
No, and that's a saving grace. That's really the only way you can look at it. From my standpoint, I agree with you. It's take the win, and use this as a learning opportunity. The coaches have to now put pressure on the players, and Freeman's got to put pressure on the coaching staff to bring it out in the players and their position groups and go from there. And it's not acceptable the way we played, but at least, like you said, we got the win. It's a hell of a lot better having this conversation over a win than it is over a loss.
Yeah, it is going to be a fascinating week in Notre Dame land media-wise to see everybody's position on this and where people think this is at. It's going to be a really interesting week. And then you got to get ready for Navy. And I know they look bad and lost today, but if you mess around on offense, that's how you lose to Navy. I'm telling you.
Yeah, and this is right, Ash's first time. I don't know if you ever played the triple option, but this is Ash's first time going against him. You know, Freeman has experience, so you hope Freeman's going to set the tone in terms of this is the game plan I want to play against them. And but yeah, that's a concern for me is him not going up against Navy for I don't know. Has he ever played the triple option before, Ash, or no?
That is a good question. I don't believe so, but I could be wrong. But I don't think so. But don't quote me on that.
All right, bud. Well, listen, have a great night. Get some rest, and thanks. And I'll talk to you soon. All right, bud.
No problem, man. Hey, thanks for jumping on. Good call, buddy. How much time you got, buddy?
How much time you got, buddy?
How much time you got, buddy? Oh, boy. All right, here's the deal. All of the other people on here, they're not on camera and your mics are muted. So some of you are probably just listening on hold like people do on the call line. Undo yourself if you want to come on. Liam, I got you, and 559 will be after that. And then maybe we'll see what's up. Hey, what's going on?
Hey, Johnny, I'm going to be really quick tonight because a lot of the other callers did a great job addressing some of the things that I wanted to say.
Sure. Thanks for joining. And by the way, magnificent beard. That is quite fantastic.
Thank you. It covers up my
That
big
is
nose.
like the full deal. I like that.
You know what, Johnny? To be honest, at my age, it's either a nice beard or just a double chin concealer.
Yeah, it's a good way to look at it. So what do you make of this, man? What should the takeaway be?
First, I think that you and Pat are correct. We won by a bunch. And Freeman, of course, is a very good coach. But the New Yorker in me wants to nitpick this a little bit because I feel like perhaps the mistakes that you make on one side of the ball are compounded by future mistakes on the other side of the ball. You didn't play to the standard. Mental lapses, physical lapses. Defensive coordinator had mistakes. Special teams coordinator had mistakes. Your offensive coordinator had mistakes. And I think people are frustrated because they look for some level of consistent professionalism after they've busted their hump all week and have had their bosses on them. And they say, well, these millionaire coordinators, they should do better.
Yeah, I don't know, man. The consistency thing is what kind of gets you with this team. So I don't know why. What is it? Because you have a new quarterback and a new coordinator on defense? Is that what's leading to some of the inconsistencies we see, or like because it's driving you nuts? This up-down stuff.
Well, and I think it was Pat who was upset about someone saying that that this is what happens under Marcus Freeman, right? Well, perhaps he should look at it. We should all look at it like this. Like maybe this is the new Freeman. You look terrible and you win by 2 scores. I'll take that.
Man, I just think that I had high expectations coming out of the bye. And I really wanted them to look crisp and clean and rejuvenated and in rhythm and fired up. And it just didn't match what I think we wanted. But it's like the worst case scenario didn't happen either. So that's where I fall, man. And I'm not trying to play both sides of it. I genuinely think that's the right place to be. Frustrated you didn't do more to impress the committee, but relieved that you didn't at least lose. That's kind of where I'm at.
I think that's a great look, and that's a very optimistic and realistic look on what happened today. I guess my problem is that I called you on Friday and told you I thought we would win by 70. I don't know whether I was drinking Miller Lights in the middle of the day or whether I was hopped up on too many Red Bulls. But how do I talk that back, John? I said we were going to win by 70. It was we were losing halfway through the third quarter.
Yeah, I just hope you didn't put money on that bet.
No, with just a bunch of old hologram Pokemon cards.
Oh man. And so I don't know, man. This is going to be interesting to see, what happens against Navy and what this week looks like with the media. Anything else you want to cover?
What's one thing that there's no other kickers. I mean, Ocho Cinco, Wes Welker, Doug Flutie did a kick one time. A lot of people don't know this, but Ray Rice was his high school's kicker as well. There's no other guys that could kick the point extra for us.
They have tried 3 different kickers, and none of them can do the job, apparently. They've had 3 different guys doing it.
Maybe Prestige Worldwide could come in, possibly you.
Like anybody, the drunk kid on game day could do it. Like, I don't know, man. Like it's, and then it becomes psychological where you're like, you have an extra point, and in everybody's mind, they're like, what's going to go wrong? And then it happens. It's almost like this weird psychological thing that messes with you. Rudy, thanks for being here. It's like a weird thing, man, but you're not going far in the playoffs like that. You got to get it figured out. I don't know what the answer is.
No, but you know what? Strangely enough, and I'm the guy that said we'd win by 70. Hearing from you, hearing from Pat, hearing from Tom, I think I feel better about my original emotions following the game. I had to be talked off a ledge. Seriously, I thought that was an embarrassing display.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, man, it is. It was really frustrating, but I think embarrassing is losing. And the second level of embarrassment is like a last second something to win the game against BC. Like there are levels to this thing. And I just want to be accurate about what level we're at with it. And it isn't loss level, like, but it's, I understand the frustration, but I don't know.
Do you know what win this kind of reminds me of? I think you're around the same age as me. I'm 41. So obviously fell in love with the Brady Quinn, Charlie Weiss first 2 years.
They were the exact same age, yeah.
The ugly win over UCLA. You know, where you're favored by, I think, 20 points and you win with 40 seconds left or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, Quindus Samarja. Yeah, I don't know, man. It is. I'm not going to let it be the end of the world, but I do admit that I don't have the bounce in my step after a Notre Dame win where you have that confidence and on Sunday you're walking around with that little bounce and you're feeling extra good. I don't have that. And so it's a weird place to be, but at least they didn't lose. But like at the end of the night here, when we all go to bed, at least as mad as anybody is, at least you didn't lose.
No, 100%. And I think that you'll be a little bit happier when you find out that Brian Kelly is on the next season of Dancing with the Stars.
Oh. Hey, he got his audition when he danced with that recruit. They already got some film on him. They already got some film, baby. I like it. I like it. Hey, man, thanks for joining. Anything on the way out?
No, I am worried about Navy, but I think we should see a better performance, right? If we're talking about a playoff run, we need to see a better performance from the coaches and the players as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they'll play better, man. But this was a sleepy start out of the bye. Hey, thanks for jumping in a lot lately. Appreciate it. Have a good one. 559, unmute yourself. You're coming up. What's up, 559? What's up?
What's up, my boy? How's everything going, guys? A therapy? Yeah, this is exactly what therapy is. This is something that a lot of us need. And, you know, John, thank you. That from the bottom of my heart, and you know what's up. But today's game, man, I was a roller coaster ride, man. It's just, I'm upset for 1 second. I'm happy for another second. Then I'm saying, what the hell are we doing? Like, you know, we're supposed to give them 4 quarters. 4 quarters of Think at the Mighty. What the hell? That shit was ridiculous. Then, Brock, you're getting paid a hell of money to get those guys right. If you can't do it, get the fuck out of there. Sorry about that. It's just pathetic. You had 2 weeks off to show that kind of shit. No, we are Notre Dame. And if you don't understand that, Dan Brock, get the step in. You're getting paid a hell of money to not run the ball. Do your play action fake off the run. Smash them and give it to them. Time after time after time. You're not doing that. I got a lot of anger, and you know why I got a lot of anger, my boy. But this was ridiculous. And Dan Brock, I'm taking it out on you right now. You're getting paid too much money to be doing that kind of fucking play calling. I'm sorry. Still play calling. We are better than that. We have Jeremiah Love. We have Jadarian Price. We have an offensive line that can push our will on them as demand. And we're not doing that.
Hey, at least we didn't lose, though, right?
Yes.
Like, I mean, everything that you just needed to get out is fair and accurate and whatever. I totally get it. But, like, I just need everybody to acknowledge the worst case didn't come true. That's all. If that's all we take from the day, the worst case that could happen didn't happen.
And that is so true. That is very, very true. And you know what? We're giving Ash a lot of, you know what? I think Ash he did a great job under the circumstances that he was under. The boys weren't giving up big plays. Hey, they're going to make plays, guys. They're not going to shut everybody up and give them a goose egg. Remember one thing. This is Boston College. It doesn't matter the record. Every team that plays Notre Dame, we are their Super Bowl. We are their Super Bowl. They're going to make a name off of our back and off of us showing up to their stadium. So guess what? Offensive coordinators and defensive coordinators, you got to help Freeman's out too to make sure they're on board. It's not a one-man show. It's a whole team show. So each and every person that has a department needs to have their players step up. I can't say what I want to say, but step up. Okay? None of this, oh, you know what? We have Navy. We have this. No. The moment that you start thinking ahead, that's why we play every week. Every week we focus on that opponent. Worry about the next opponent when it's their turn. Right now, with Boston College, yes, we got away with one. We played ball. We won by double digits. Okay, great. We showed that when we want to impose our will, we can do imposing our will.
How disturbed are you that this came out of the bye week and they had 2 weeks to prepare, and then you come in and you're a little looking like sluggish? Like I'm sorry I asked. I can see you're getting where the volcano is building. You were really hoping they'd be rejuvenated and come out firing on all cylinders. And you knew that BC was going to be a pain in the ass because they just kind of are. Whenever Notre Dame's in one of those seasons with something to play is when they is when they bite us. Like, I don't know. Is Freeman just taking it easy on them on the bye week and then they're a little like out of their routine or what?
I think there was a lot going on. I do feel that CJ Carr needed a reset button. He needed just to have that week off, and you could actually see, look at how good he did. Okay, great. This kid is a player, and you know what? Right now we're so frustrated because how they played, especially off the bye week. We expected them to run the ball. We expected them to give you smash mouth football. Blue collar, I forgot what caller called earlier and said, man, we're the blue collars. We're not no Cinderella teams. Just because we're not in the SEC or out there in the ACC and down south doesn't mean that we don't know how to get up each and every day, put on our big boy pants, put on our boots, and go out there and bust our ass. You know what? That's exactly what Notre Dame stand for before. Notre Dame was the blue collar of college football. And if you don't know what the hell that means, look it up. We're the blue collars. We're the ones that they tell us that we couldn't play them. We went out to play them. They told us we tried to go to the West Coast. We went out to the West Coast. Then we go to the East Coast. We're the ones that did it. We put everybody on the map, and now the Big Ten and the SEC want to do what we do because they see how big of a brand we are, and they want to mimic us. But you know what, Dan Brock and defensive coordinators? You need to show that we are the blue collars of college football.
Ooh, take a sip.
Yeah, my water's going low now, bro. But it's just frustrating. It's frustrating, John, because, man, look at Renee, look at me, look at Adam, look at everybody. Look at yourself, bro. Like you and a couple of people on the chat, like, man, we wake up every day. You do your podcast. Every other people do their jobs. Then they jump on their stuff. And, you know, we participate. We go there. We bust our ass. We bust it so much. We work. Some of us work 60 to 70 hours a week or even 88 sometimes I do. To see a football display like this off of a bye. And it's not the first time. It's the second time.
So I'm starting to have questions about Dan Brock on what his mentality is on the off week. I'm not worried about Freeman. I think Freeman shows his frustration. He's letting them know, and he's in their faces too. And that's what I want to see from my coach. I want my coach to go up there and tell him what the hell is wrong with you. Get your head in the game. Don't be making those mental mistakes because it's costing us. It's costing us a rip. You know, and the one joy that some of us have is to watch Notre Dame football.
Yeah.
A win's a win, guys. I get it. But sometimes you need to rip to those coordinators and let them know that, hey, someone said it earlier, you're getting paid a hell of a money, my boy, to not be looking bougie. And I'm sorry, man, we bougie, my boy. We got to stay bougie. That's why we blue collars, bro. We shop down those aisles that Kelly didn't want to shop on. You know what I'm saying? So I'm telling you right now, I want to be going to South Bend again and drop $1,200, $1,500, $1,800 like nothing. Because you know what? We bougie, dog. And we ain't scared of that. When we're traveling, I want you to have the same mentality, Dan Brock. I want you to wake up every morning like my coach gets up at 5 in the morning and goes for a 2-mile jog around the campus. Maybe you need to walk around the campus and see how special it is to be at Notre Dame.
Whew. Dan, do you feel better now? I'm glad you were able to get that out. I mean that. That's what this is for. I hope you feel like you got it out of your system.
Absolutely, John. Man, my boy, like I love your show, bro. I love your show and I love you as a person. Tell your Jessica, feliz cumpleaños. La queremos. Aquí está con nosotros. You know, my family to your family, you're a blessed to a lot of us because we're able to vent the frustration that it is. And that's what my son says. Dad, why don't you just call? You're sounding just like all of them. I'm like, I'm never going to do that. And guess what? I'm all up in his mother. I'm all up in here, dog. I'm talking my ish because I'm letting you know we are the University of Notre Dame and we stand on business. So I want you to stand on business too. Wake up and wake up those echoes of South Bend. Let that thunder start coming down and run the ball. And you have a special talent like you do. We're in an era right now that let's not take it for granted, guys. And let's not be grateful because, hey, we did win. We didn't lose. But it's not the win that we want. We want to win with style points, and I get it. But you know what? The only mediocre that I didn't like was the first half. The second half, I think our boys got up. But the first half, I just feel like they were still on vacation mode. And that's where I feel like not just our head coach, but our offensive and defensive coordinators and our assistant coaches have to help out and get everybody up and ready for this type of game. Everybody's going to come and play us like we are their Super Bowl. And that's what happened today. And that's what's been happening. Guess what? Navy ain't going to back down. Pitt is not going to back down. And Syracuse is not going to back down. And Stanford ain't going to knock down. And by the way, I will be at the Stanford game. I'm letting you know right now, unless something happens in my family. But other than that, I should be at that Stanford game and continue my 9-year tradition with my sons and everything.
Oh,
but, John,
hey,
that's
man.
all I got to say, my boy.
I really appreciate you jumping in. God bless you and the family. And then we'll talk offline, buddy. Love you. Thank you.
Te quiero. Bye.
See ya. Woo. Man, there's a lot of energy there. Man, that's a lot of energy. Steele, what's going on, buddy?
Hear me okay, Johnny boy?
Yep, I got you.
Well, I want to take a WPP approach and I want to blame you and I want to blame all the other people that were overlooking Boston College all week long. And even on Monday in the chat on the Patreon, I even said, Boston College, man, ever since 1993, I'm 42. So 1993 is like yesterday to me still. I was just 9 or 10 years old and it broke my heart. So, and Boston College has done that several times. And even Goolsby said he never beat them. So all the warnings are there. It's Boston College is a different game for the Irish. It is a rivalry game and they give us their best. They could be the worst team in the country. And then when they play us, they find something and they will play good. Of course, now Freeman, he's done pretty good against them in his tenure, but yeah, it was a setup for this one,
And you know what, man? I spent all week being like, this is a trap. I'm running my mouth about Kelly. Nobody's talking about BC. And it's dangerous. You're going to their place. You're coming out of a bye. Everyone's distracted, dumping on Kelly. It was the perfect trap. And at the end of the week, I ended up picking Notre Dame to win big. Like, so I ran my mouth about all the dangers, but when it came time to log my score prediction on SI, I'm like, oh, Notre Dame's got it. I think I picked like 42-10 or something. And it's like, I'm just glad you got away with it, man. I'm thankful that this is not the worst case scenario call-in show.
Right. And I thought the same thing. I thought they were going to blow them out. But you have to think, like, the kids, the guys, they watch film and they are young kids. You know, in the preview show that you did with Jack, and it was you guys watched the film, and he says, well, there's really nothing really to say. These guys are lousy. We should mow over them like fresh grass, you know. And the kids, the guys, they watch the film too, so they see the same thing that we're seeing on BC's film. So they were probably just overconfident going in. And the announcer says something about their plane coming in late. So there could have been a little factor there, something to do with that, you know, just not being settled and ready to go at the right time or something like that, which I don't know who's to blame for that. But I'm happy to see a team, you know, in the past when Notre Dame will underperform like this, they will lose a lot of times, but they won. So I was happy that they won, and really it wasn't that they played bad. It was the stupid mistakes and the penalties. And of course the ACC refs are always trying to throw one in on us. That was
face mask was unbelievable. And then they even tried to be like, well, what if he grabbed the inside from the back? You didn't even do that.
Yeah, the guy's trying to be the apologist for the referees. It was terrible. And then they made a bad call in our favor after that for the roughing the passer. And I told my son, I was like, well, we don't want cheap penalties. That was payback penalty. They gave us that. They were like, we owe them one. We'll just throw them a little, you know.
Dude, it's so frustrating. I'm just glad that you didn't ruin the whole season and leave yourself no chance in the remaining 4 games. Like, it could have been a lot worse. As mad as we all are, it could have been a lot worse. That is my takeaway.
Well, and the thing, I'm pretty optimistic for the playoff committee. I don't know. People need to get on the Patreon because Hyde was talking about if Miami loses, because it's late in the season, it's actually a good thing. They'll probably bounce behind us. And even though that they have the win over us, they could bounce behind us in the rankings because of the late loss. And I wouldn't be surprised if they lost again the way they're playing. But, you know, who's going to jump past us? You know, is Texas going to come from 22 and go ahead of us? Like, Vanderbilt's behind us right there. That we only need one spot. We only need to be 11. We're 12. We need to be 11. One team, you know, a couple teams lost in front of us. We should be good to go.
You're going to learn a lot with that first one that comes out Tuesday, because the most important ones are the first one and the last one. The first one is so interesting because you get to see how they're viewing all these teams at the starting point. You'll see what they're valuing or what they're saying they're valuing. Like, you will get an idea of how much respect Notre Dame has or doesn't have from the first one. And then everything is week to week from there. You'll know very clearly who you're going to need to win and lose from there. So I don't know what you're going to get Tuesday. You didn't help yourself as much as you could have, but you didn't kill your chances either.
Right. And we're getting a lot of love from like Joel Klatt and them national media guys. They're all putting the Irish right in there. And then, you know, was it Jack? He said that Vegas has us as a favorite to go in there as well. So that tells you a lot. And I do think that there's a lot of money involved, and they do want that media. They want those dollars that Notre Dame brand brings. So
yeah,
I think that'll play a role in the committee's decision as well.
Yeah, it's man, there is a lot of football yet to be played. Notre Dame still got 4 ball games. Everybody else got to play a bunch of games. You just keep winning and you give yourself a chance.
Well, and the other thing, Freeman let the cat out of the bag. He said they were preparing for Navy during the bye week. So they were kind of looking past BC a little bit. And hopefully that Navy prep better have work, dude. You know, you can't tell me now. You already told me you took extra time during the bye week to work on Navy. Now, if you go out and pee down your leg against them, you're going to be in trouble with me.
Yeah, it was you were playing with fire and you kind of got away from it. Although if you drop a few spots Tuesday, then you're going to say you kind of got away with it, but you kind of didn't at the same time because you lost ground. So
no, we don't want to lose any ground.
We're going to have to see where we fall, man. Anything else? Thanks for waiting.
No, I'm excited to see the film review. I think that we missed Billy. Billy. We need Billy back, but I'm excited to see the film review and see what everybody thinks of the O-line. And I thought the D-line played really well. So just the penalties on defense, really. And then, Leonard Moore falls down. Like, how often is that going to happen? So the defense played pretty well.
Yeah, it is. Man, this is it's going to be interesting down the stretch. But it was really frustrating. Hey, man, thanks for jumping in and being on the Patreon too.
All right, Johnny, go Irish.
Have the good one. Oh, man. Whew. This is tough. This is tough. We're going to have to see what you guys think. All right, everybody. That's going to be it for the show. We're at 2:14 already. I got articles to write. I got another video to record, prepping for tomorrow's show as well, for the boys tomorrow night. So it was a robust 2:15 here. I knew this was going to be juicy. With where people were coming from on this. And we have people in every different strand of Notre Dame thought and reacting to this. Tonight is an awesome night for this format because everybody gets to throw their idea out there and give their reasons why. It's really, really awesome. Renee, sorry I missed you today, in and out. And a few of you other guys, there was no video and you're on mute. And I don't know whether you're just listening or if you're waiting to go on but just didn't unmute yourself. I need to get better at that. Nikki Dean, Renee, there's a handful of other people that are in there, but with nothing active, and I'm not sure. So we'll iron that out. Oh, I missed super chat. There we go. The snipe. I still think if this good one to end on, $10 hour. Sorry about that. I got distracted. I still think if this team puts it all together, it'll be our best chance at a championship with Carr, Love, and Price, but they have a lot to clean up. That's a very interesting way to look at it. If you could get that pass offense humming and be able to run the ball with those two backs, you're dangerous in the playoff against anybody. And nobody's seen a Notre Dame team in the playoff that can run the ball and pass the ball. That would be totally new. Having Notre Dame be a dual threat like that in a real way. So I don't know, man. Weird day, but at least the absolute worst nightmare didn't happen. I guess you're going to have to live off that, but the debate's going to rage on. Thank you guys for being here. I love all of you. The new format is a little more engaging. People seem to like it. Thank you guys. We'll see you tomorrow night. Goolsby and I got to see what those guys think. We'll get into the week and do the film and Monday Night Raw. Love you guys.